Aloha. Welcome to this Giving Tuesday 2022, live from our College of Social Sciences digital studios. I'm Erin Fujitani.
And I'm Charlton Casimiro. Thanks for joining us for our UHMTV live stream broadcast. Giving Tuesday is a global generosity movement that helps organizations transform communities here in Hawaii and around the world.
Today, we're giving back to the UH College of Social Sciences. Current and former students, like ourselves, are thankful for the lessons and experiences we've gained during our time here on campus. Many of us attribute our achievements and successes to UH. So on this day, we want to say mahalo to everyone who has supported us along the way.
To show our appreciation, we'll be sharing stories of gratitude and meeting with faculty, staff, and alumni for the next couple of hours of this broadcast.
For those of you near UH Manoa, please feel free to come down to Campus Center, where the festivities are about to begin, at 10:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Lots of food, games, and giveaways, plus a live broadcast from KTUH Radio.
We hope you will join us in giving back to our alma mater. With your support, our faculty and staff can continue their efforts in shaping the future generations of problem solvers, creative thinkers, and global game changers.
They've also made donating super easy. You can go online at the link below. It's tax deductible to the UH Foundation. Please choose the College of Social Sciences when prompted. We accept PayPal, Venmo, and Apple Pay too.
To jumpstart the campaign, our Dean of the College of Social Sciences, Denise Conan, is putting up a match challenge to encourage more donations. Let's hear what she has to say.
They were both peacemakers who taught me the importance of serving those most vulnerable. In their memory, I'm honored to announce the Margaret and Roy Eby Peace Scholarship, which is an endowed fund dedicated to students in the Matsunaga Institute of Peace. On this day of giving, I invite you to make a gift to this fund or any other fund in the College of Social Sciences. And in the spirit of giving, I'm pledging $3,000 to match the first $3,000 raised today. Mahalo for your generosity to the College of Social Sciences.
Wow, what a great way to honor her parents. So, you heard it here first. Dean Conan will be pledging $3,000 to match the first $3,000 raised for the college today. For those of you who don't know, UH is among the top 1% of universities in the area of social sciences.
That's right, our college has won many awards for excellence in research, academics, and service. There are 12 departments from anthropology to women's studies and much more in between. Here's a look at some of the programs we have to offer.
So I've been part of the College of Social Sciences since 2020. I'm actually born and raised here in Hawaii, but I went away for college for 3 years before I decided to transfer home. That was actually the best decision I ever made. And like myself, Charleston is also a transfer student here.
Yes, I was in school in Oregon for a bit, and I got a little bit homesick. Came back home, and it's been one of the best decisions I've made, not only academically and career-wise, but just personally. Hawaii is just a unique place to be. It's really someplace special that you want to be at. And one of the biggest things I want to be or that I'm thankful for is of the College of Social Science themselves is the opportunity that I've gotten through my classes, all the mentors I've had, the opportunities we've had to meet new people. Like we were able to interview a bunch of different alumni. One of them being Timmy Chang.
Yes, so Charleston and I met in the journalism department where we did UHMTV, and each semester we feature an alumni. I had the amazing opportunity to talk to football coach Timmy Chang, and I talked to him in the prime when he was right before his debut season. Let's take a look.
Giving back to his alma mater by accepting the big job of being the head football coach.
Our own Aaron Fujitani got a chance to sit down with the proud UH alum and talk about his vision for a winning season.
20 years after playing for UH, Coach Timmy Chang is still the big man on campus. The St. Louis grad has gone pro and played overseas. Now he's the brand new head football coach for the Rainbow Warriors.
As the sun sets on Chang's career at the University of Hawaii, he leaves behind a legacy and records for future quarterbacks to chase. Tonight, one more win will mean one more game before riding away into the sunset.
Today we're joined by UH alum and brand new head football coach Timmy Chang. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
So congratulations on your new job. And so how does it feel to be back on campus?
It feels awesome. It really does. It feels good. My office and our coach's office overlook the stadium. It has a lot of potential to be a rowdy environment, which I'm excited to get going in spring and more importantly, this fall with the upcoming season.
He currently holds the NCAA records for most passing yards and most career plays.
At one point when I was in high school, I was recruited to go to many places, but I decided, to stay home against my parents' wishes. They thought, well, there's better opportunity away. But in my heart and what I saw Coach Jones do with his 1999 team, for me, it felt like things aligned, the stars aligned. And I wanted to do something special, and I chose to stay home.
What was it like playing for him and then later coaching with him?
He's been unbelievable for me. He gave me my first shot at coaching. And now I sit here today. I mean, how thankful am I to have this man in my life and give me these opportunities to just grow and become myself. And I look at him as a friend and more so a mentor.
June Jones carries the honor of being the winningest coach in UH football history. In the early 2000s, he was known for embracing the local cultures and traditions. Coach Chang hopes to continue this legacy by starting a new era in Warrior football. One of his initiatives was to throw a huge party for the entire community at Ching Stadium.
We really want an event where people can come to that they can watch us as the main event and really support their team. I mean, look at this backdrop. I mean, that thing is ready to be rocking.
with Coach Timmy being from here and knowing the history and playing here, he can really connect with us, and he'll know what it takes to have a tight bond, a tight brotherhood, and a good camaraderie in the locker room.
Coach Tang embraces the concept of brotherhood as a family man who is happily married with 6 kids.
Brotherhood is something that the locker room rallied behind, and it's like their motto, and it's our motto. We're going to love these guys up. We're going to put our arm around them to make our program successful on and off the field. And so there's a love and care about guys that they have compassion for, and we want to see succeed, be leaders in our community one day.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Chang, for joining us. Good luck with your upcoming season. Yeah, so getting to talk to Timmy Chang was such an amazing opportunity that I wouldn't have had if I wasn't here at the College of Social Sciences. He is such an amazing man, and when he came into the studio, he really lit up the place. So what you see on camera and on TV is really what you get with him. Another opportunity that we had last semester during our show was a few of our students went to the Big Island to film some of their stories.
Yes, I was part of that group. There was 2 other students aside from me, and I think what I appreciate from that was that my teacher at the time definitely pushed me towards doing that, and gave me that challenge. And with that challenge came the opportunity to meet many different people and to share all their stories. And one of them being this organization who helps the most vulnerable truly call Hawaii home. Hawaii has one of the highest rates of homelessness in the United States, with more senior citizens being priced out of housing. Studies show that the elderly homeless in Hawaii could jump by 300% in the next 10 years. On the Big Island, some kupuna are living on the streets. Mark Mahuna is a senior citizen who has been on and off the streets before. During the pandemic, times got tougher.
I was at bouncing with a canoe club, and I had hurt my foot, and this lady walked over and said, "Can I help you?" So she called police services. And by that afternoon, by 1 o'clock that afternoon, I was in a safe house. I was really rescued.
Now he is happy to call this place home, with help from Hope Services Hawaii.
It takes a community to do this project, right? It wasn't just Hope Services. This is kind of the fruits of that labor.
Moving clients into housing first is part of Hope's mission. Clients typically start off in a transitional shelter, but the main goal is to get them into a permanent home as soon as possible.
In collaboration with the Catholic Church, Hope Services Hawaii has acquired about 15 acres of land right here in Pohoa to build affordable housing for the elderly.
This is Hope's first permanent housing development of its kind. Located near the original temporary homes, these 12 studios will have a lot more space for kupuna to stretch their legs. And clients say it's more than just housing, it's hope for a second chance.
I managed to get in. I was rescued by Hope Services, and that was such a blessing because hope means help. Hope means blessings.
We've had so much help, so much donations. It helps because for a lot of us, it's a start over.
Hope is used to responding in a crisis. During the 2018 lava flow that forced evacuations of nearly 2,000 people, the community came together to build the Sacred Hearts Shelter. Hope also runs other shelters that cater to some of Hawaii's most vulnerable. One client says he's grateful after recently getting the keys to his own permanent home.
So someone said, there's this thing called Hope. And so I went in there, and really it's the best thing ever happened to me in regards to being able to essentially get off that. And now it's just starting to open up. So you can get help here. I mean, a lot of help. And people are happy to do it.
Seniors will be able to move into their new homes by early this summer. Benefits include a kitchen, laundry room, computers, and a variety of social services. Manino hopes to create more projects like this so more local families can truly call Hawaii home. For UHM TV, I'm Charleston Casimiro.
Welcome to Giving Tuesday 2022. There's lots of activities happening on campus. So if you have the time, please come down to Campus Center. We'll have a bunch of food booths, games, and giveaways. You can also participate online, so please give to the College of Social Sciences. Now, after watching that video, there was a couple other students on the trip with Charleston. So tell me what that experience was like.
Oh, it was a great experience. I think the biggest thing I take away from that was it was like a real world experience of being in the job field, and being able to be a part of my other classmates stories was so awesome. One of them being which we did on the Mauna, and we got to stay up there. And interestingly enough, at least during this time, Mānoa just recently erupted, the first time in almost 40 years, and Kilauea is still erupting for about a year now. So it's the first time that two of them have been erupting for a while, and those summits themselves are so sacred. So it was such a unique, atmosphere to be a part of on top of the Mauna, and the story that was told on the Mauna was even more unique.
Yeah, so Jordan Poyo did a story. She's one of our alumni that we'll be talking about a little bit later. So let's take a look at her story on the Mauna.
While construction of the controversial 30-meter telescope is currently on hold, lawmakers are still debating another heated issue surrounding the management of Mauna Kea.
Hawaiian activists say UH should step down from its leadership role because of past negligence. But those who work atop the sacred summit have a different story to tell. Jordan Poyo explains.
Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain in the world, standing more than 33,000 feet tall from the base of the ocean. Because of its height and location, it is also one of the premier spots for scientists to study the stars and for Native Hawaiians to connect with cultural deities.
I realize and understand that the summit of Mauna Kea presents itself for observatories and for astronomers as an ideal, if not the ideal location. It is also our ideal location.
I like everybody come to this mountain. Really, this mountain is for everybody.
Before heading to the sacred summit, these Mauna Kea rangers are the first faces you'll see. They'll make sure visitors are properly acclimated to the extreme elevation and equipped before going higher.
So we play a great role up here, trying to save everybody to and from the summit.
We're only here to educate everybody and make sure everybody's being safe. They don't get to go inside the observatories or telescopes and go in there and see anything or be educated about anything in there.
Here at the Visitor Center, this small-scale model shows all 13 telescopes on the Mauna. While the general public is not allowed inside the observatories, staff here help others understand what goes on inside. For example, these telescopes provide imagery used every day for weather and traffic reports. From the halfway point, the journey to the top may only be 8 miles, but the drive time is at least an hour. Mauna Kea, which means White Mountain, lives up to its name as it's usually covered in snow. During the winter months, it can be extremely dangerous for drivers to make the uphill journey. That's why crews work 365 days a year to keep the road safe.
Without that grading, the road would deteriorate very quickly, and the first heavy rain would cut the access to the summit.
But most of the rangers here are first responders, so anything that happens up here for medical, we are the first people that goes to the scene and treat the victim before fire department comes up or fire personnel comes up. It's kind of like we got to take everything into our hands and try do the best we can.
Staff members also protect and grow multiple native species such as the vacu bug, which can only be found on Mauna Kea, and the rare silver sword plant, which is on the endangered list. Staff also maintain and manage more than 250 cultural sites.
Sometimes it takes 3 hours to hike there one way. So it's very intense on the body, and I don't think people realize that we put our life on the line to do the work that we do.
It costs roughly $12 million a year to steward UH's portion of the Mauna. With more than 3 dozen staff members, all are local residents, and 75% grew up here on the islands. A 1998 audit reported that UH was negligent in its stewardship duties. Over the years, many activists felt that their sacred summit was being desecrated and called for a halt on the construction of any new telescopes.
We need to learn how to live within nature. and within our environment instead of trying to conquer it. Same for the Mauna. For as far as TMT is concerned, it remains too big, for this mountain, and we will do whatever we can to keep it from being built and cause permanent damage.
So there's a lot of people that are not supportive of the current infrastructure, and you either you change it or you have to win all of those people over.
While UH acknowledges its past mistakes, a 2020 independent evaluation states that Mauna Kea is now one of the best managed lands in Hawaii. In recent years, the university has hosted numerous community forums, town hall meetings, and other forms of outreach in hopes of giving more voice to the Native Hawaiian community.
If we, the collective we, can focus on what's good for the broadest range of people, we will create the opportunities and the resources for government and private enterprise to be able to address some of these long-standing issues.
The debate of Mauna Kea is typically culture versus science, but the people that we've talked to say that this is just a stereotype.
Culture and science are fundamentally linked together. Science emerged from culture interests, the asteroidal Momo, which I think proved to everybody, given the spectacular number of internet hits and media coverage worldwide, demonstrated that the idea of astronomy being kind of the amplifier for Olelo Hawaii across the entire planet is very doable with these big discoveries.
I would hope that the existing telescopes can do the best work that they can do for the period of time that they remain on the Mauna, and it's not forever.
Not only for the culture of Hawaiian people, for every culture in life. Come with your aloha, come with your mana'o, share everything up here. And as you hit the peak of this mountain, you're in heaven. So tell me who don't want to be in heaven. This is heaven right there.
State officials are considering a joint authority that would include both UH and Native Hawaiians for a mutual stewardship. As talks continue, construction of TMT still remains on hold. For UHMTV, I'm Jordan Poyo.
Watching this package is actually perfect timing. Like you mentioned, Mauna Loa began erupting yesterday. And it's crazy how much timing works out. So there's one other student that was on the trip with you guys. So tell us a little bit about his story.
Yeah, so Ethan Young was another one of our classmates that went with us. And his story was on basically trying to get the entire island, more so in this particular part of the Big Island, Kohala, to be more sustainable with their food, especially in the schools. So it's basically a farm to school initiative. And so in that story, we took a look at how one farmer is trying to teach a group of students from Kohala High School how to be sustainable and something that they can take with them long into their lives, you know. So we can take a look at that from Ethan Young.
Welcome back to UHMTV. Today we'll respond to public schools to increase unpaid free experience.
The northern tip of the island of Hawaii is home to the agricultural town of Kohala, where farming is a way of life. Growing things naturally takes time, and that's how the popular slow food movement got its name. Yet even with all these fertile grounds, residents here are still fighting for sustainability.
Who came to this island? There were 20,000 people right in Kohala. 20,000 people living here on the shores of North Kohala. Who fed them? They fed themselves. To them, when you have 5,600 people living in Kohala, they cannot even feed themselves.
Here on the Kohala coast is actually where the slow food movement started. And with all this space behind me, local farmers say that the sky is the limit. 2015, Kohala was chosen to pilot a farm-to-school initiative promoting more homegrown foods in cafeterias.
And so we were one of the first nonprofits in the state to be able to supply fresh produce to the cafeteria on a weekly basis. We were able to get fresh produce to Kohala for about 3 years actually before COVID hit.
Based on the success of that pilot project, lawmakers in 2021 passed a new law requiring that 30% of all school lunches be supplied by local farmers by 2030. However, Hawaii's local farmers say they can get it done much faster.
Everybody in the capital supports local agriculture, but look at the state budget. 0.05% of the state budget goes to supporting agriculture. That's the reality.
For me, here and there, I would like to see food, but sometimes I just look at it and like, is that really what we have to do?
I saw firsthand how fast we're able to pick, clean, and even prep our plates, all while finishing chores around the farm.
We would like to see some organizations ready and willing to work with community organizations and partners to actualize this.
They're partners of ours. And so we have people that come from there that have helped us set up the aquaculture as well, where you can see some sparse lettuce growing.
Hawaii spends about $45 million annually on processed food shipped to Hawaii, but Fuertes says local farmers will stretch those dollars more efficiently by growing stuff in their own backyard and keeping money in the islands.
It just doesn't make sense. So, as a community with this farm-to-school program, can have their own processing facility. We can be able to produce the food, process it there, and boom, straight into the cafeteria.
Just like farmers and their produce, ranchers are also facing similar challenges with their cattle. Fuertes has the resources to provide these to the school, but even with 14 food hubs statewide, these local farmers aren't even able to sell to the schools.
We're working as an organization to help nourish that rebirth of Kohala being a big river for the state.
Through farming, our kids also learn about agriculture.
So, what we're doing is
And once they go out to learn more, maybe they can come back and enhance their community, or maybe they can go on and, share their local pride and their traditions and the values that they learned here in Kohala and take them someplace else and make that place a little bit better.
We really need Department of Education to improve their procurement office's ability to buy produce from regional food hubs. And we really need the administration to start working with this incredible network of food hubs.
While the Farm to School initiative may take longer to digest, Fuertes remains optimistic of a greener future and will continue his effort to bring more schools to Kohala farms. For UHM TV, I'm Ethan Young.
Both Jordan and Ethan are alumni of the College of Social Sciences, and they're both currently working in the field of broadcast journalism.
That's right, and with more than 32,000 alumni around the world, we have a huge community of support. Many graduates credit the College of Social Sciences for guiding them on the path to success. According to our website, the average time to earn a diploma is just 3 years. And did you know 7 out of 10 CSS graduates are employed within 6 months of graduation? I can attest to that, as I am very fortunate to be able to land a job right after graduation. Currently, I'm happy to be working for Hawaii at KH12 as a producer.
So, the proof is in the pudding. CSS continues to produce and inspire the next generation of bright, successful minds. And now joining us to share his experience as a current student in the journalism program, Donovan Turqueza. So Donovan, tell us a little bit about your experience this semester doing the shows.
So thanks so much for having me. First off, it's just been a great experience for a lot of us in the class, I think. It's really taking us out of our comfort zones and into the actual kind of a simulated work, real world work environments. It's stressful at times, but that's all. In the end, it's going to let us know what we're getting into. We're not just going to be thrown out into basically to the wolves at the end of the day.
All right. And, what are some of the aspects of the College of Social Science, the courses that you've taken, that you feel is, can really help you in your future, whether it's in your career or just even in your personal life?
So I'm really thankful for the courses in the College of Social Sciences just because I feel like for me personally, I'm more of a practical person. I want to develop skills that are going to help me in the future, and I feel like all the schools in cultural social sciences, they do give you the opportunity to practice with media arts, to learn how your community is affected by certain social issues or so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about the class in UHMTV. I know for us, we got really close working together because it's such a small, intimate group and you really rely on each other for the show. So tell us a little bit about that experience, like really bonding with your classmates.
Oh, we've become super close as a group. Really, I feel like it kind of drives home what I think UH tries to promote as us being basically one huge ohana. And honestly, like I said, it's been a lot. Honestly, it's been a lot. It's really stressful, but yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like after this, we're gonna be continue talking to each other for years after graduating college. Yeah.
All right, and based off of your experience, like, would you recommend college social science to a lot of people, or like, what can you, or what advice would you give to students that might be looking for something, and college social science might be an option? What is something that you can say about that?
Okay, I would definitely recommend cultural social sciences, and even if you're not going into media or social sciences in general, there's a lot of skills that translate, I feel, to other career paths. And overall, it's just, like I said, it's a really tight-knit ohana here at the social sciences.
Yeah, so we heard a little bit from you, Donovan, but let's also hear some personal stories from your classmates.
G'day, aloha. Hello, my name's May James and I'm a student here at UH in the College of Social Sciences, and I'm majoring in journalism and communications. As you can probably hear from my accent, I'm not from here. I'm an international exchange student from Australia and I'm doing a semester abroad here at UH. And that is something that I'm extremely, extremely thankful for. Coming from a different country, I'd never experienced Thanksgiving before, I'd never celebrated it, and to be honest, I'd never really heard of it. So coming here and experiencing my first Thanksgiving is something that I'm really, really grateful for and something that's really special to me. And honestly, a big part of that is thanks to the College of Social Sciences. Since being in the college, I've really reflected on the experiences I've learned from it, and the two main ones I've found are personal and professional things. Personally, I've met the most amazing people. We've formed a really tight-knit group and we're always helping each other out, and I've learned so many new things about Hawaiian culture and just coming out of my shell in general and really opening up and meeting new people. Professionally, I really want to be a journalist when I graduate this semester, and I've had the most amazing experiences through the college. I've been lucky enough to be an anchor on the UHM TV show, which is coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. And that is a career goal of mine, to be a news anchor, so being able to have that opportunity is something I'm never going to forget, and I'm extremely thankful for. So please give today. Please donate this Giving Tuesday so we can reach our goals. Mahalo nui.
Aloha mai kākou. My name is Hi'ilave Neves, and I am a journalism student at the University of Hawaii at Mānoa in the College of Social Sciences. First, I want to say a happy holiday season to everyone, and I wanted to share a little bit about what I'm thankful for this holiday season. I am especially thankful for UH Mānoa and my experience here so far. I believe that UH is not only one of the best institutions to learn about my culture and also my language, but I just think that my experience there has been just completely welcoming and so encouraging. As a Native Hawaiian, I'm just completely grateful that I'm able to go to college and further my education, but also be able to focus and learn about my culture. I'm able to learn Olelo Hawaii and also meet peers who are also learning with me, which is something I really value in my life. But not only that, as a journalism student, I'm also able to use my culture and kind of implement it into what I'm creating. So I just wanted to share a little sneak peek for all of you who are going to be watching the UHM TV show 29, which airs on December 10th. So here's a little sneak peek on my UH alumni interview with Dylan and Cheta.
But I understand that even outside of the studio, you have a completely different life. If you could elaborate a little bit on that.
What do you mean by that, girl? What kind of different life you talking about? No, yeah, actually, so I am a drag performer. I hope that's what you're referring to.
Thank you to the students for sharing their experience, and thank you for those of you who have stuck with us since the beginning of this stream. But for those of you just joining us, welcome to Giving Tuesday 2022. There's lots of fun activities happening on campus today, so if you have the time, come down to Campus Center, where we'll have food booths, games, and giveaways. You can also participate online, so please give to the College of Social Sciences.
Yes, please. Anything you can donate, we would have really appreciated. Anything to help the College of Social Science continue their efforts. So if you can, just scan the QR code or go to the link down below at UH Foundation website and donate however much you can. We'll be right back in a little bit. For UHM TV, I'm Charles Casimiro.
And for UHM TV, I'm Erin Fujitani.
Aloha, welcome back to this Giving Tuesday 2022, live from our College of Social Sciences digital studios. I'm Hi'ilave Nevis.
And I'm May James.
Thank you for joining us for our UHM TV livestream broadcast. Giving Tuesday is a global generosity movement that helps organizations transform communities here in Hawaii and around the world.
Today, we're here to give back to the UH College of Social Sciences. Current and former students, like ourselves, are thankful for the lessons and experiences we've gained during our time here on campus. Many of us attribute our achievements and success to UH. So on this day, we want to say mahalo to everyone who has supported us along the way.
To show our appreciation, we'll be sharing stories of gratitude and meeting with faculty, staff, and alumni for the next couple of hours of this broadcast.
For those of you near UH Mānoa, please feel free to come down to Campus Center where the festivities have just begun, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's lots of foods, game, and giveaways, plus a live broadcast from KTUH Radio.
So stick with us. We hope you will join us in giving back to our alma mater. With your support and our faculty and staff, we can continue their efforts in shaping the future generations of problem solvers, creative thinkers, and global game changers.
Yes, they've also made donating super easy. You can go online at the link below. It's tax deductible to the UH Foundation. Please choose the College of Social Sciences when prompted. We accept PayPal, Venmo, and Apple Pay too. Or you can use the QR code on the screen right now.
For those of you just joining us, our Dean of the College of Social Sciences, Denise Conan, put up a match challenge to encourage more donations. Let's hear what she has to say.
On this Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for my parents. They were both peacemakers who taught me the importance of serving those most vulnerable. In their memory, I'm honored to announce the Margaret and Roy Eby Peace Scholarship, which is an endowed fund dedicated to students in the Matsunaga Institute of Peace. On this day of giving, I invite you to make a gift to this fund or any other fund in the College of Social Sciences. And in the spirit of giving, I'm pledging $3,000 to match the first $3,000 raised today. Mahalo for your generosity to the College of Social Sciences.
Dean Conan is just so great. I actually first met her at Mānoa Experience this past spring. I had the chance to interview her just here in our studio, and she's just super encouraging, and she is very supportive of her students, and she does an amazing job as our Dean of the College of Social Sciences.
I'm jealous I haven't met her yet, but hopefully I will today. Speaking of our alumni and our faculty, we're going to switch to a package with Greg Takayama.
State Representative Greg Takayama's colorful shirts are seen as a symbol of his colorful career. During his time at UH, he worked as a journalist for both the student newspaper and the Star Bulletin. Later, he got into TV news and public relations, and now serves as a lawmaker representing Pearl City. Recently, our class got a chance to sit down with him in studio.
How has your experience in journalism helped prepare you to be a politician?
I think being a journalist teaches you to listen. They often say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a good reason. You ought to be used in that proportion. And so I've always taught myself to listen to other people, and that really is the hallmark of a journalist. A good journalist listens to other people, listens to their stories, and lets them tell it. And that, to me, is what I practice still as a government official.
Takayama is used to being seen across all forms of media, but he says he wasn't always so comfortable being in the public eye.
I've always been personally kind of a shy person. And one of the things about journalism is it forces you out of your shyness. It requires you to meet people, to talk to people who you had no idea of meeting in the first place. But that becomes your job, your profession, and it forces you out of your shell.
Takayama grew up in Kalihi Valley and graduated from Farrington High School.
One of the things about growing up in Kalihi Valley was, running around outside in the neighborhood, we yelled and screamed in pidgin all the time, as was natural as all the kids did. But the minute my brothers and I stepped back into the house, my mom insisted that we speak proper English. And so I never regretted it because, as it turned out, every job I've ever had required me to speak proper English. And so that was one of my childhood memories.
Takayama was one of the first in his family to go to college, spending his first 2 years in Oregon before transferring to UH Manoa.
And so I transferred back to UH because the UH then had a much better journalism program than they had in Oregon. So I ended up finishing up my last 2 years here at the UH Manoa, working on the student newspaper, where, as it turned out, I met my wife and many other friends for life.
His opportunities at UH led him to Washington, D.C., where he served as a press secretary for the late Senator Dan Inouye.
I've covered the shortcomings of government, the inefficiencies, the corruption at times of politicians. But working for Senator Inouye showed me the good side. And so I decided that if I had the opportunity to work in government, I would concentrate on doing good for the community as much as I could. And so that led to my decision to run for the State House 10 years ago, and I've never regretted it. I've done my best to serve our community in the state, and in a small way, I think I have.
One of his highlights as a lawmaker was introducing a bill that became known as Anya's Law. It's named after a little girl who was suffering from a cleft palate condition.
I've always prided myself on that being one of my proudest accomplishments as a lawmaker, because it only affects like maybe a dozen or so children who are born every year here in Hawaii with a cleft palate, but it affects their lives immeasurably.
Distinguished alum Takayama has this advice for the class of 2022.
My advice is always keep your eyes open for opportunities. I've counted them, maybe 7 jobs in my lifetime career, and each job has led to another. Even if you're working in a job that you're not 100% happy at, do the best you can. Keep your eyes open. Never burn bridges. There are opportunities before you all the time. Just do the best job you can.
As head of the Higher Education Committee, Takayama hopes to continue making a difference in his community. For UHMTV, I'm Lydia Tristan.
Welcome back. We love all our alumni, including our next guest, Ivy Martin, who is from Northwestern Mutual. She was also a 2020 graduate from UH and was a comm student. Please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so like you said, I graduated here recently in 2020 with my master's program in the communications department. I'm originally from Wisconsin, so it was a big shift for me coming out here about 4.5 years ago to Hawaii, and have loved living here ever since. So after I graduated, I started working for Northwestern Mutual. I've had a few different roles there. Currently, I'm working with our internship program and leading that, and then I also am working with developing some of our new financial advisors who are coming to join our firm. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I'm doing.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So how would you say that UH has shaped what you're doing now in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think that being a part of UH has had such an impact on me, not only in giving me sort of a home away from home and developing a sense of community here and really growing my network. I think it's wonderful to be a part of such an awesome alumni network. I think that has really opened a lot of doors for me and definitely helped lead me into the role that I have today in terms of what I learned through my experience in the communications department. I think there's a lot of takeaways that I got there just with learning basic skills like time management, growing my communication skills, definitely learning how to think critically. Those are some of the main, I guess, things that I learned through my experience in communications. And I think it was a really great decision for me to be a part of that program just because it is so broad. There's so many different directions that you can go in terms of different fields that you can be a part of professionally after graduating. So it really gave me a better sense of what I like doing and where I wanted to go next.
Yeah, so obviously it's Giving Tuesday. What are you thankful for personally, professionally, or anything else?
Yeah, kind of as I mentioned, I think just being here in Hawaii and having that home away from home and the sense of community here, sometimes it's hard to be away from family, but I'm of course grateful for just my friends here on island and having great people to work with as well, I think is something I'm really thankful for every day, both personally and professionally.
And you mentioned a home away from home. What are your some of your favorite things about Hawaii and UH in general?
So many different things. Let's see, I think obviously it's a beautiful place to live. There's so many things to do. I love being able to do things outdoors all year round. That's something that I wasn't always able to do in the Midwest when it'd get really cold in the winter. So I feel extra grateful for that. I love the people, as I mentioned. The food is amazing. I love the university here as well. The campus is beautiful, and there's such a sense of community here. So I really love it.
And we heard about a certain match challenge that you might be taking part in. Can you tell us a bit about that and promote it?
Yeah, so we are promoting our challenge of matching up to $1,000 that is donated to the College of Social Sciences. And one of the reasons we're taking part in this, we definitely want to give back to the College of Social Sciences. I myself come from the College of Social Sciences, but we also have other alumni in our office, and we've definitely, seen that they've been really successful coming from this program. So we want to be able to fund the students who are in the college right now and just make sure that we can do what we can to support the future leaders of our community and potential future contributors of our office as well.
And do you have any words that you'd like to share for those who are watching at home or even just future students?
Yeah, I mean, future students, I think kind of theme of what I've been talking about, people are so important, community is so important, so, leverage your networks if you're kind of trying to figure out what's next for you. Definitely lean on the people who are around you, and that's my advice for you all who are watching.
Thank you so much, Ivy, and please donate so we can reach our challenge. Let's see more about what the college has to offer, and we'll have more guests after that. Welcome back. As we come back, I'd like to remind you all on this Giving Tuesday, you can give to anywhere, but please choose the College of Social Sciences on the drop-down. You can donate on the QR code. Now we have a special guest. Ruben Campos is a professor here at Mānoa in Ethnic Studies Department. A fun fact about Professor Campos is that he spent up until this year without a phone. So not a phone until this year.
After hearing that, I certainly have a lot of questions that I'm excited to ask you about, and now is the time to answer them. So thank you so much for joining us. First of all, for anyone who doesn't know you and is watching right now, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Professor Campos, Ruben. I am a lecturer in the Department of Ethnic Studies, and I'm a student services specialist in access, so what it means advising civic and community engagement in the social sciences. Yeah.
So we heard that you're from Southern California. Yeah. Where in Southern California are you from, and what brought you to Hawaii?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town called Yucaipa, California, which is about 80 miles east of LA. And I went through college nearby there at the University of Redlands, and then I knew I wanted to study somewhere in the Pacific and study hip hop. And so then I came out to here to kind of figure out where I wanted to study, who I wanted to be, and so I did my undergrad in Southern California, and then I did my master's and PhD here at the University of Hawaii.
And what is your, how have your experiences been here at UH since you've been here?
Oh, gosh, so incredible. I really feel, even though I did finish my undergrad degree elsewhere, I don't feel like I really grew up until I got here, and this place just really shaped me, really, yeah.
So how did you make the switch from anthropology to ethnic studies?
I think I was just called into it. Anthropology is a great field. I love the methodology. As a social science, it is a incredibly special field, right? But something about ethnic studies was drawing me to recognize that just the importance of place and understanding not only where you're at currently, but where you come from. And so ethnic studies just pulled me in. It's such a beautiful community, such great professors, and it does such great work here on the campus and especially off the campus.
And since it's Giving Tuesday, we of course have to ask, what are you most thankful for this year?
This year, I mean, I'm going to want to say something really incredible and special or whatever, but it's probably just my dog, Mari. And of course my family, my wife, Heidi. Just so grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the new position I'm in at Dean Hall 6, which is the Access Lounge with, I think, a future guest here, Ula Hassinger, a doctor, professor here that runs the civic and community engagement at the UH and the social sciences. And I'm just so grateful for this new position because it really does feel like, you know, in the spirit of things, like I'm able to give back to the community here and then also keep receiving the benefits that shaped me, like I said.
Thank you so much for your time today, Ruben.
Thank you.
Really, really beautiful. And I'm so glad that you're a part of the College of Social Sciences.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to a 1 Million Trees story by my fellow Australian, Georgia.
Meanwhile, researchers from the UH College of Social Sciences are also committed to conserving Hawaii's natural resources.
A UH geography professor is leading an effort to plant 1 million trees. Georgia Claire Johnson-King has more on this ambitious and super green goal.
UH scientists say climate change is causing disastrous events in Hawaii. Residents and visitors are already experiencing hotter temperatures and coastal erosion. Other natural disasters such as landslides and flooding are also on the rise.
The Office of Climate Change and Resilience has responded to this with plans to plant over 100,000 trees by 2025 and to go completely carbon neutral by 2045.
UH geography professor Camilla Mora says it's an ambitious goal, but it can be done.
For the longest of times, I just realized that we just keep talking about how bad this is, but you rarely see anyone getting down to business and doing something. And what we decided to do was, okay, we're going to start walking the talk. You know, enough of talking, let's start doing. And we decided to put this goal of planting 1 million trees. That's my dream, and I don't want to take 50 years to do it.
One of the ways to get there is to plant as many trees in one place at one time. This nearly 40,000 acre land in Wahiwa is just one of the many chosen sites. Kukani Loko in Ololo means to anchor the cry from within, and Mora believes the name says it all.
That land is crying. If the land could talk, it will be crying and screaming at us, come and help us.
Mora calculates that if everyone could plant just 10 trees a year, Hawaii would reduce its dependence on imported oil and reach its carbon neutrality goal much faster. Tree planting also helps restore the ecosystem while preserving the cultural heritage.
6,000 acres, the Puhonua is a place of refuge. It's all about the Aina, our natural resources, the land, and our beloved people.
By getting involved in local events such as tree planting and tree clearing days, you too can help support your local Aina. For UHM TV, I'm Georgia Claire Johnson-King.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to our live broadcast here in the College of Social Sciences Digital Studios. Just a reminder that it is Giving Tuesday, so feel free to donate to any of the colleges on campus. But of course, we want to encourage you to donate to the College of Social Sciences. Feel free to use the QR code placed on the screen below. Now we are joined with a very special guest. Sky was a doctorate student at UH, and he just got approved as the director of the esports program under the College of Social Sciences.
Can you tell us a bit about your experience getting this new program in the College of Social Sciences up and running?
Yeah, well, it's been really 5 or 6 years in the making. I actually developed this program as I was a PhD student back in 2018. And it's really been a year of success after success from that time on. Officially, I'm in my position as the director of UH Esports here at Mānoa, but I also oversee program development across the system as well. So we're looking at creating esports programs in UH West Oahu, which they have already started to do that. In Kauai College, all the CCs, Hilo, really it's all just sort of an interesting mixture of interest in this thing we call college esports or esports.
And for those watching at home who might not be very familiar with what esports is, could you just give us a little description, tell us a little bit about it and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So esports, I mean, it's something that I think a lot of people, when they play video games, they don't necessarily think what they're doing is esports, especially if it's competitively. So it is, at its origins, competitive video game play. But esports has sort of grown out of that, in which you're looking at not just competitive play, but you're looking at an industry. That includes streaming through Twitch. That includes professional teams. That includes massive arenas. It includes global competitions between North America, Europe, and Asia. And really, it's a massive, massive industry. And the University of Hawaii finds itself out in front of this in many different ways via this program that's been created.
So obviously, esports, as you just touched on, is a massive industry and it's growing all the time. What's the call for that at UH? Like, how many students have you heard that want to do this program and are really excited for it?
Yeah, I mean, it started out at the community level. I mean, we began again in 2018, in which we just had students who heard about what we were doing. We first began by the UH Athletics program asking if we could create a team for the Mountain West Division Conference, which is a traditional sports conference. And they actually had a call to create an esports division of that sports conference. And so they said, can you create a team? And we had like 2 weeks. And we created our first Overwatch team. Overwatch is a video game. It's a very popular one, and it's really grown from then on. We have over 1,000 students in our Discord. We have 14 different teams, both varsity and junior varsity. And but really, at the end of the day, that competitive part of that program itself is really just the tip of the iceberg, because a lot of students are not, top tier competitors. What they really would find interesting is sort of the new media entertainment part of the esports in the video games industry. And so that is kind of my mission as the director of UH Esports, is to get students to engage not only with their interest with competitive play, but to say, this program can be a launching pad, a platform for you to actually get into the video games industry. And we've already started to do that.
And May, I'm not too sure how familiar you are with with video games or just esports in general. So I'm also not as familiar, but I wanted to know, if you could give us a little bit of insight into the experiences that you guys have. What have been some of your favorite experiences that you've had with the students or anyone involved in esports?
I mean, yeah, the experiences, of course, they start with the fact that students are just deeply passionate about what they're doing. They spend a lot of time doing what they're doing, sometimes too much time. Right? It can be upwards between 6 to 8 hours a day. And so one of the things that I really find pleasurable in my role is to see students get into esports, but then to start to ask questions about what they can do post their career in University of Hawaii. In what ways can they use their talents, their digital literacies to actually get jobs into the industry? And I think one of the milestones that we've hit is that, for the past 2 years, I've created a relationship with Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard is one of the biggest video game companies in the world. And they've come here, close to 7 different times to our campus. And we actually ran their professional season out of the iLab, Building 37. And they just provided the students with an amazing behind-the-scenes industry look at really what is quite black box still. A lot of students do not know what this industry means to them. And so I turned that into an internship through Access. So through the Access program, through SOX 489, we were able to turn this particular experience into an internship with 20 different students. And again, thanks to Access and thanks to Dr. Hassinger, we were able to create an experience that almost, I think, is unprecedented, to have students say that they could, for the entire summer, shadow a professional league. And again, this is a multi-million-dollar league. Particular teams, to buy a slot into the league, paid around $20 million, right? So this industry really rivals traditional sports in many different ways. But yeah, we had a bunch of UH students running the league in the background for 2021.
That sounds like the most amazing experience. It sounds like you obviously have a lot to be thankful for with that. This Giving Tuesday, you have to ask all our guests, can you touch on a few things that you are grateful and thankful for? It can be about Access, because that sounds like an amazing opportunity for the students.
Yes, I'm especially thankful to Access and to Dr. Hassinger for just doing some amazing things and seeing what is possible with our internship. I'm thankful for really for Dr. David Lasner. I'm thankful for Dr. Heio Kimoto and Jennifer Winter and all the folks that have really been behind the scenes and pushing the development of this program itself. There are so many people that have really been supportive of what I've been doing to bring me to where I am today. And so, yeah, thankful across the board for so many people, and of course the students themselves. The students have been amazing and continue to be amazing in supporting our program.
And before we wrap up here, just any final thoughts that you want to share with the people watching right now?
I'm just especially happy to be here supporting the Giving Tuesday initiative. Last year, we actually did a pretty amazing thing. We were able to do it this year because we were quite busy with our students, but I think last year we ran the first 12-hour Twitch stream for Giving Tuesday for UH Manoa. So we had a Twitch live feed running out from the iLab, in which we had, I think, close to probably 12 to 13 students running that 12-hour live stream nonstop with different programming. And so, I hope in the future that we can do more of that now that we're going to be working closer together in the Sinclair Student Center Success.
Thank you so much for your time, Sky. That's amazing, and I'm sure a lot of students now want to take part in the esports program.
I hope so.
And right now we're going to cut over to another video done by one of our alumni, Jordan Toyo, and let's go check out Kaho'olawe.
Instead of going on vacation, UH Geography students spend their spring break volunteering as researchers to heal Kaho'olawe's ecosystem. And purpose are allowed to come here.
All of the damage Kaho'olawe is facing was caused by people. The use of the island for grazing for goats and cattle, followed by the island being taken over by the military to use as a bone testing range. All of this is human action.
If you look behind me, you can see Kaho'olawe's ornaments displayed. And as threatening as they look, they're all decommissioned.
But outside of base camp is a different story. In 2004, the Navy cleared about 75% of the island's surface explosives, but there are still some left underground.
So the island is still dangerous in areas, but it is safe if you follow our rules and as expert staff to make sure that you have the crews that you should be safe. So that means in certain areas, if they get up to the soil underneath, then we can't take it. So in some of the areas that you want to see, we had to do a permit that took out the plants in the ground without taking soil.
Even in areas with soil and vegetation, most of it is invasive.
And
obstacles as they conduct their research.
Different generations have their own experiences with and what we're trying to do today is try to introduce a new perspective so that this current generation will see kahomavi differently than what their parents saw, and even their grandparents saw.
I think that the exciting thing is when the students are putting together tools that look at those generations, bringing it together with that history, with environmental and
Change is impacting the island's recovery.
is the responsibility to try and repair some of that damage and restore the island to some of what it used to be. It's an incredibly big task that might never be fully completed, but I believe that every little helps to shape out that goal of restoring the island to what it was before human impact.
To learn more about how to volunteer or donate, scan the QR code on your screen or type in the link below. For UHM TV, I'm Jordan Boyle.
Aloha, and welcome back to Giving Tuesday 2022, live from our College of Social Sciences Digital Studios. I'm Mackenzie Olivo.
And I'm Kaya LaGuardia Yunamine. For those of you just tuning in, welcome to our live stream broadcast. We'll be live until noon, and if you want to join in on the action, come down to Campus Center right now. The UH Foundation and Alumni Relations will be out there until 1 o'clock. So please come join us for games, food booths, and giveaways. Happy Giving Tuesday.
On Giving Tuesday, people are encouraged to give back to different communities. Here at UH Mānoa and the College of Social Sciences, we are highlighting current and former students like ourselves. Personally, I'm appreciative for all the opportunities that UH has created for me. By making a space for creativity, action, and encouragement, the College of Social Sciences has catered to different students' dreams, mine included.
We have so many opportunities to develop our skills as global learners, and I'm so excited to share these stories of Mānoa excellence with you today. For myself, having the chance to make creative media and sit in front of all of you in the studio wouldn't have been possible without our college and support from our community. So big thank you for participating with us today. We'll be sharing stories and meeting with faculty, staff, and alumni for the next couple of hours of our broadcast.
We hope you join us in giving back to our alma mater. With their support, our faculty and staff can continue their efforts in shaping the future generations of problem solvers, creative thinkers, and global game changers.
Yes, they've also made donating super easy. Go to the link below right now, and it's tax deductible for the UH Foundation. Please choose the College of Social Sciences when you're prompted, and we accept PayPal, Venmo, and Apple Pay too, so make sure to check out for those as well.
We have 3 match challenges to support the College of Social Sciences. Kamakana Oke Aloha Aquino is the Native Hawaiian Initiative Coordinator for the college. He has promised $2,500 for the first 25 gifts.
The second is a pledge of $1,000 from Northwestern Mutual for the first 1,000 raised. And the third is from our very own Dean, Denise Conan. She's pledging $3,000 for the first $3,000 raised today. Let's see what she has to say.
On this Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for my parents. They were both peacemakers who taught me the importance of serving those most vulnerable. In their memory, I'm honored to announce the Margaret and Roy Eby Peace Scholarship, which is an endowed fund dedicated to students in the Matsunaga Institute of Peace. On this day of giving, I invite you to make a gift to this fund or any other fund in the College of Social Sciences. And in the spirit of giving, I'm pledging $3,000 to match the first $3,000 raised today. Mahalo for your generosity to the College of Social Sciences.
All right, we'd like to welcome another guest on our live stream today. Ula Hassiger is the Director of Civic Engagement for the College of Social Sciences. She also has many years of experience of service learning under her belt, so I'm really excited to hear about what these opportunities mean for students. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ula.
Thank you for having me.
So one of my first questions for you, I've personally heard about Access, but for students who haven't, can you tell me a little about what that program means for us at UH?
So Access is actually advising civic and community engagement in the social sciences. So it's a combination of different ways of supporting students through education. So my part of it is the civic and community engagement. And that is service learning, as you said, but also internships. And also working with Urban Campus in all kinds of student support, including campus and college support.
Awesome. I'm actually doing a service learning for you as well, so I'm so happy to be part of this program. Could you tell me any favorite memories that you have from doing service learning or doing this kind of engagement with students?
Well, that would be a lot. It is probably the best way of learning. It's a so-called high impact practice. The students that are working in the communities, they understand what's going on in the communities. They get experiences that they can take back in the classroom and apply to what they're learning in classroom. So the theories become alive. I gotta admit, when I meet students that I taught 20 years ago, they remember the community engagement and the analysis of that best of everything they did. So we cater to, we cater to all faculty and students in the social sciences. But we also run very large programs that are open to students from higher education throughout the islands.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of immersive learning is really impactful. A lot of the times that's more instrumental than what you can be taught in a classroom or from even a kind of mentor. It's that hands-on experience that is really important, and I think that's really awesome that you're involved in that. How did you ignite that kind of passion for that kind of work?
I'm an anthropologist, so you're learning by interacting with people and by analyzing what you learn in that process, right? Our program has developed internships, and you actually earlier today have met some of the internship examples. You heard from esports, which was something completely new. You also heard from an insurance company that were replacing students. So there are many very, very diverse ways of getting engaged. Service learning is catering to needs in the community first and foremost, and is often totally integrated in an academic class. Whereas internships are an opportunity for students to try out a workforce experience and to develop networks in the community outside of the university. Often chosen by seniors or juniors.
I wanted to ask too, I realized that UH Mānoa as a research institution, sometimes it feels that research can only be done in one way, and being able to go to these internships and community work days and service learning, as you were saying, brings so many different memories that you just hold on to for so long. And so I guess my question for you, as somebody who was not born and raised in Hawaii, is why UH Mānoa for you?
UH Mānoa because I have been doing research as an anthropologist in Hawaii, and because I have great mentors here.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so I do want to say it's Giving Tuesday, and what whatever you might be able to contribute is going to be helping us continuing our programs. We put a lot of emphasis on running particularly the service learning programs without lab fees for students. Equity is a big thing for us. So we really need extra support, so please help us, help the students.
Yeah, if you guys are willing to donate, we have the QR code on screen. You're more than welcome to make your way over to the UH College of Social Sciences page. And anything you're willing to donate, the minimum is $5. Again, Apple Pay, Venmo, whatever you can, contribute.
To ask one more question, sorry. For students who might be interested in learning more about Access, where should they go if they want to find out?
They can look us up online, search Access, search program for civic engagement in the College of Social Sciences, or just come over to Dean Hall. We have a very active student lounge, which is full of people and full of great ideas and projects and inspiration. So come over and hang out with us. Dean Hall, room 6, right on the ground floor.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us. This kind of study of people, places, and things is something the College of Social Sciences is really instrumental in providing opportunities, spaces, and places. Let's learn more about this kind of introspective approach to learning more about places, especially here in Hawaii. Another package we have is by Erin Fujitani about geotagging.
With the increase in tourism expected for the holiday season, local residents are worried some famous landmarks will become overcrowded.
As Erin Fujitani reports, some have been using social media to keep their favorite hotspots a secret.
Geotagging is a way to share your location on social media. But some local content creators are posting wrong geotags to mislead tourists.
I don't dislike tourists, or I don't try to tell tourists not to come here. But the part that I don't like is them coming here during a pandemic. So that's where my little skits came of kind of keeping tourists away.
Burden feels justified in gatekeeping, saying tourists already take over once private beaches like China Walls in Portlock and Sandy's in East Oahu.
I would like to keep the spots I've been going through my childhood as private as possible, and not for it to get overcrowded, because with overcrowding comes trash and vandalism and all stuff like that.
I do have a lot of tourists come up and be like, oh, I know this is here, but where is it, So I definitely feel that they have that entitlement almost. They say oh, Hawaii, it depends on us, they need us.
For instance, social media trends show local residents posting the Alawai Canal as a spectacular scenic site.
But in reality, this is the Alawai Canal, which carries a local stigma of being a toxic waterway filled with sewage and trash.
Some Native Hawaiians are also concerned that overuse of sacred lands could cause more damage to the environment. State officials are encouraging locals to report any obvious misuses of Hawaii's natural treasures. For UHMTV, I'm Erin Fujitani.
If you don't mind, I can intro if you want.
Research shows that the majority of kids at Hawaii's youth correctional facility have experienced trauma.
And as Lydia Tristan reports, one warden is focused on gardening to help heal their inner child.
Driving through Olamana, it's hard to believe that there's a correctional facility here housing troubled youth. This healing place offers a variety of rehabilitative programs representing Hawaiian values.
So when you talk about prisons, we call it the punitive model. And we're trying to move to a therapeutic model.
This healing philosophy stems from UH research that shows the majority of kids who come through the justice system have lived through some form of trauma.
Those without the capital get the punishment. The reality is over 90% of the American population has committed at least one jailable offense, and yet most of us are not in jail. These structures systems of inequality that exist in our society affect who goes to prison and who doesn't.
Statistics show Native Hawaiians are consistently overrepresented in Hawaii's criminal justice system, making up nearly 40% of the prison population.
We have to understand how intergenerational poverty and intergenerational incarceration plays into what's currently in our system. Sometimes it's all about identifying who they are and where they belong.
Kabai Loa is a place of refuge that also serves as a haven for victims of sex trafficking, abandonment, and even homelessness.
I basically was homeless before, and I was staying at Kaka'ako for probably 5+ years, just like me and my parents. But my parents, they've been doing their own thing like that, and me, I've just been kind of surviving on my own.
Farming projects like Kupa Aina help many find a source of healing by planting native crops.
We want to have youth, young adults, come on the property and learn about themselves. We want to grow these kids. We want to grow these young adults into finding themselves and then sharing them with the community. So not just the produce, but we also want to give kids out there to go out and from their experiences and what they went through, share and become part of the solution in the community.
The first notion that is unique to Hawaiian culture is this notion of a place of refuge, a puhonua. We don't have a sort of Western equivalent of a place of refuge, but in Hawaiian culture, that was a very central concept, this idea that you could be forgiven, that you could be safe and healed by your culture.
We work on the resiliency of the child. How do you survive until the time can heal the wounds that you have with family? In the meantime, we're going to teach you skills. We're going to get you educated. We're going to put you in housing. We're going to support you so that you can break the cycle on your own.
It kind of taught me how to make amends and stuff like that, become pono with myself, and just be pono with others. What that means pretty much is to come right with yourself, make ends meet again, and just pretty much, let go of the past and just continue to move forward with your life.
Perez Fonseca is just one of many success stories to come out of Kabai Loa. He hopes others can learn from his example.
I actually just got into my own place too now. So I actually live in Waikiki now. I think I'm on a pretty good track because I have my 6-month review and they said everything is going good. And I didn't get no complaints from the landlord or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty all right.
He is now employed and working in the very farm where he began to heal his own inner child. Perez Fonseca feels his future is looking up.
Favorite thing about working over here is just the scenery. I like coming to work because I get to check out these lovely mountains. It's kind of cool that I'm working right next to this mountain called Olomana. I've never been so close to a mountain before.
For UHM TV, I'm Lydia Tristan.
Welcome back to the College of Social Sciences Digital Studios. We are honored to have a big supporter of the College of Social Sciences and coordinator of the Native Hawaiian Initiative, Kamakana Aquino, join us on set. Thank you for coming today. Kamakana is in charge of the CSS 25 challenge for us, which means if it's 25 gifts, it's 2,500 that's matched from the CSS department. So thank you so much for joining us.
Aloha, Mahalo for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. So what kind of things do you do as a Native Hawaiian Initiative coordinator?
As a Native Hawaiian coordinator, I help the College of Social Sciences guide them towards becoming a Hawaiian place of learning. So there's multiple projects or activities that I'm involved in, from student recruitment and outreach to supporting our Native Hawaiian faculty to developing other programs in collaboration with other departments across campus and across the system.
That's awesome. And when it comes to UH as an institution, why did you choose Mānoa specifically to have a home base at?
Well, I graduated here from Mānoa, both with my bachelor's and master's degree, and so why not stay here at home and be part of the university here at home? And it really has an enriching life here in the university, and there's many opportunities here that we can provide, both locally and internationally.
Did you have a set goal or aim when you came to the University of Hawaii, either as a student or even now as a coordinator?
Definitely, I wanted to work in higher education, so University of Hawaii at Manoa definitely seemed a lot more intriguing, interesting, and a lot more. There's just a lot of things that is going on. That lots of excitement, lots of involvement. So I was very happy to be part of the College of Social Sciences and help lead the college's effort towards a Hawaiian place of learning.
Wow. This is like a perfect example of alumni giving back on Giving Tuesday, right? Well, you've decided to use funds you won from Kamehameha Schools, we've heard, and use these funds to donate it to the school. What influenced this decision for you?
So about a year ago, I was nominated as an OEV leader, and this was a program partly funded through Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement and Kamehameha Schools, and it helped to recognize leaders from the community from various areas to youth to our elders and the impact that they have in our community. And as an awardee, it also included a monetary gift. And being that I'm very passionate in my work, it was very, I had no other, I don't know what the words are, but I just felt that it was important for me to put some giving back to the work that I'm interested in and I have a passion for.
That's really notable. And honestly, thank you for bringing that kind of initiative here. It's really appreciated. And too, how do you feel like, what is the status of UH now as a Native Hawaiian place of learning? Do you feel like it's meeting that?
I think it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of everyone's input and guidance. But I believe that we're on a pathway, and there may be some bumps in the road, but it's a pathway that we're all trying to strive for.
For sure. It sounds like you've been doing so many initiatives for our campus, so I really appreciate that, especially for Native Hawaiian representation. I was wondering, in honor of Giving Tuesday as well, what are you thankful for this year?
I'm just thankful for my relationships with everyone, family, friends, work, anyone that I meet with. It's very just enjoyable to have a relation, to talk story about anything, right, about life. So, mahalo.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I echo that. I never thought about it that way, like relationships as something you can umbrella over everything else. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
No, just thank you for this opportunity to be here.
Of course. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
So as we were saying earlier, Kamakana is part of Native Hawaiian Initiative. There's currently the CSS 25 Challenge, which means 25 gifts, match $2,500. So please donate if you can. QR code is on the screen, and it's a $5 minimum donation. So thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate
Mahalo.
it. Mahalo.
And now we're going to go to another product of the UH College of Social Sciences Digital Studios, a package about tribal tattoos by Ethan Young.
Polynesian tattoos have been around for more than 2,000 years. Famous celebrities like The Rock and Jason Momoa share their cultural connections through their ink, which extends deeper than their skin. These symbolic meanings can differ from person to person depending on one's heritage. Recently, I went to visit a special exhibit at the Bishop Museum to learn more about traditional tribal tattoos.
It's all based on traditional Samoan tattooing, and it's called Tatau. It's a wonderful exhibit, and it's basically about a family by the last name of Suluwapes that traveled around the world and single-handedly saved tapping from going extinct. And they're the same family that actually taught Keone Nunez, who was the traditional tapper here.
In ancient times, practitioners used a tapping method with simple tools made of bone marrow and wood. Only a handful of traditional artists continue that practice today.
Tribal tattoos have withstood the test of time, even through the period of Western missionary suppression. Today, this art is still alive and evolving with modern tools and modern designs.
With more than 100 tattoo parlors on Oahu, it's easy to get just any tattoo. But certain places like 808 Tattoo and Kaneohe offer tribal tattoos with a modern twist. Megan Jones has been doing this for nearly a quarter of a century.
It is our due diligence as artists to study the patterns that we are putting on people and taking the time to live it as a lifestyle. Yeah, like to not just, I don't just do this and then make money off of a culture. It's like I'm in the lo'i with my keiki. My keiki stands hula. My pane speaks Olelo Hawaii. I'm in Olelo Hawaii classes, like perpetuating in a daily lifestyle.
Although she does not use the traditional tools of kakao, she still incorporates tribal symbols and patterns which everybody can wear.
Contemporary Polynesian is like you got to borrow from the past to create new in the future. It's really important to respect everything that was done in the past, but if you want to create your own style, you have to be very respectful of those patterns, and you have to know the history and the origin of those patterns and apply them correctly.
Traditionally, tribal tattoos were reserved only for certain chosen ones, but that's not the case today.
So I think that just kind of which creates a little bit of touching. But of course, respecting the past and just trying to work with my clientele to create something that is different from the body.
After sharing my story about where I was born and raised, we decided on several tribal marks that represented my life's journey. These wavy lines signify Kai, or the ocean. This row of triangles represents my family's Amakua, the Mānoa, or the guardian shark. And this checkerboard pattern is a universal symbol for mana, or power and strength.
I think it's totally fine as long as they're, perpetuating a culture and art and they're being educated on what they're wearing. I think it's a small-minded way of thinking that other people can't wear other cultural tattoos, whether you be Caucasian, Japanese, Chinese, I mean, we're all mixed now.
So, it's not about how powerful or attractive tribal tattoos appear to be. They're a body signature, and for me, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. For UHM TV, I'm Ethan Young.
We wouldn't have the opportunity to sit in this beautiful studio, meet such wonderful people, and learn as much if we didn't have your support.
We're asking for your donations so we can maintain this space we have and allow the dreams of future generations to flourish. Here at the College of Social Sciences, we have something special. The sense of community between students and teachers is so strong, and I couldn't imagine anything else like it.
Your donations make a lot of this possible. Our goal today is $5,000, and I think we have about 10 gifts so far. So we thank you and encourage your participation in this year's Giving Tuesday. Again, you can just scan the QR code on the screen or go check out our giving page at the UH Foundation website.
I love QR codes. They are so convenient. It's right here. As we inch closer to that 12 o'clock mark, we're going to bring back, Thank you for joining us. I am Kaya Lawandina Namina.
And I'm Mackenzie Arugo. Happy holidays.